Welcome back to Gamescom 2012 and to the CM Storm ESL Arena for more World of Warcraft European Invitational. All the games here are really important, of course, but never more so when you've only got one chance left in the lower bracket. And that's what these next two teams have got, a last chance to stay in the tournament and try and win that $12,000 first prize. So, let's welcome to the stage, please, a big round of applause for Gold members. Okay, well that's actually microcity.be, but okay, let's bring out Gold members now. You'd think it was easy, wouldn't you? But it's not. It's not as easy as it looks, ladies and gents, I can promise you. However, it is microcity.be versus Gold members. They're going head-to-head in the lower bracket semi-final. Loser goes home. Winner stays in for a chance at the 12,000 pot. Azael's next to me. Would you like to delve into the depths of the strategy of these two teams?
I'm ready, man. So you guys just want to step over, and you can come over too. And yeah, it's definitely not as easy as it looks, Paul. I know that firsthand. But guys, you know, Kuna, probably not where you expected to be. You know, you're really confident going into the match against, you know, another Reticate Priest. What happened in that match?
Well, basically, with all the noise and everything, it was so hard to set up anything with my lock. I couldn't even hear him on Skype, so like we can't like even play close to how good we play at home.
Okay, well, I mean, you just lost to the same setup that these guys are playing, right? So, how are you feeling going into this matchup? Are you still confident?
Yeah, I'm always confident, always trying to be confident, because that's the only way you can win and beat everyone. But I will try my best anyway, and I think we have a good chance to win.
So, I mean, do you think that having lost the last series, are you going to change any of your strategies, or are you just going to try to execute them better, you know, have all your little problems fixed out? Like, is there anything you want to change in going into this series?
We will try a few different things, yeah, play a bit different. I don't really want to talk about it right now, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see. I will talk to my log before the game to know exactly what we'll do, since it's so hard to communicate.
Okay, well, man, best of luck. And, yeah, good luck to you. So we'll hopefully see more of you in the tournament. And now, you guys, you know, you did go down to the lower bracket, but then you won a series. You're now here in the semifinals. You're going up against Kuna's RLS. You know, how are you feeling about this matchup? They just lost to another Reticate Priest 3-0. Does that, you know, help your confidence?
Well, we played against them on TR. We made like, I don't know, 100 war games or something. But it didn't really went good. Like, we lost most of the games, and we have like a big surprise for the crowd. We're gonna do something with our comp. Well, you will see it.
Okay, well, that's pretty interesting. It's interesting here. So, I mean, if you think that if you guys take down Kuna's team, do you think that you'll go all the way? Do you think you'll win the tournament?
I don't think so. All I want is like get into top 2 and yeah, get the trip to China. So yeah.
Well, it's a good goal, but you gotta have some confidence in yourself. You gotta believe, you know. What do you think it is that you really have to do right? Like, you know, obviously, Reticate Priests, you like to kill shamans against RLS a lot of time. Do you think that because they know you're going to do that, you know, their gear choices and everything maybe make it too hard?
Well, all I can say is we're not going to play Reticate Priest. So, yeah, I already said it's going to be a surprise. So, just enjoy.
All right, well, I'm excited to find out what that surprise is going to be. I'm sure everyone is at home as well. Good luck in the match, guys. I wish you the best. And we're going to be throwing it back to Red Eye, and I'm going to head over to the commentator's desk.
Okay, I'm going to let these guys go and take their place on their computers and get set up. We'll also let the very talented Azael sprint over to the commentary box. We've been keeping him very fit today. He's had to go between the commentary box and the stand. He's done an awful lot of work, and he's done it very well indeed. He's also over there with Radical. They've been fantastic so far, I'm sure you'll agree. So, without further ado, let's get this semi-final of the lower bracket underway. Ladies and gentlemen, our commentary team, Azael and Radical.
Paul, you're a little too kind. Paul's doing an absolutely fantastic job right there over at the stage. You guys should follow him on Twitter as well. You know, his Twitter is at the bottom of the screen, so hopefully everyone saw that. And you guys can give him some shout-outs on Twitter. I think he's doing a fantastic job and making our job very easy.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. Thanks so much, everybody, for having us. We're very excited to be here, and I think it's so interesting that they're not going to play Red DK Priest. And keep in mind, I don't know what they're running. I don't have any inside info, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's 3 DPS with a Priest swapping over to either a Rogue or a Hunter.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good chance that it is going to be what we're seeing. I'm excited though, man, and I think it's a weird choice, especially after the RLS just lost 3-0 to another team running the same comp. But I have to say, they didn't sound. This Red DK Priest doesn't sound very confident, man. And I feel like that's something they need to change. It's like you need to believe in yourself, and even if it's not true, even if you aren't the best, I feel like you have to think you're the best to be able to ever get to that level.
Well, yeah, I agree to a certain extent. I think you have to believe in yourself, but you don't want to be overly confident and then show up and just lose or something like that. But what probably happened is they don't believe they can beat the RLS as Red DK Priest. As I said, they've done hundreds of war games and then just lose the majority. So they're going to say, you know what? We're probably going to lose if we run our usual comp. Let's just try something and maybe make it out of here and make it to China, because that's their main goal. And you know what? I like that main goal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can respect that, but at the same time, for me, it's kind of like, do you really want to lose? Your tournament life is on the line. You've played probably thousands of games as your main setup. As this alt setup, how many games have they really played? That's the question to me. If it's something that they're really confident in, and maybe it's like an alt class that they're already a gladiator or above level, then okay, I understand that. But if it's something you're just hopping on, do you really want to put your tournament life on the line with something that you're not super confident in? Because if you come out with some crazy thing that you think is counter comp or whatever, and you just really mess up and you look foolish and you lose 3-0, I think you're going to be kind of kicking yourself for not playing your main setup, especially when someone playing the same setup just won 3-0. I mean, to me, that would be like, all right, like, let's do this. You can win,
Yeah.
But I don't know, just not showing that much confidence.
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. But especially, there was once a wise man that said to me, play your main setup, play the class you're used to, and don't try and gimmick it. And that wise man is actually the Warlock for Evil Geniuses. You've told me that countless times. Yeah. When we watch online tournaments, or when we're just talking about tournaments in general, you always say it. Play what you're most comfortable with. Yeah. But
and I mean, I really believe that. I think it's regionals last year and just in other tournaments I've played in, people are like, oh, your setup isn't that good against this. You're going to get counter comp. Like, why don't you play something different? Whatever. And I always feel like you can overcome those challenges. Not every time, but if you don't think you can, then you can't. It's just that's how it works. So I feel like if you put in the practice, if you really try to adapt and change your play style, think about little things you can change, your spec, your gear, whatever, it can really push you over the edge and give you that little bit extra you need to win sometimes. So I feel like that's something that maybe teams don't always do. They just kind of think, I can't win, it's just the game, or it's this, or it's that, or they're too good. But I feel like, if you stick with your setup, you have confidence in yourself and your teammates, you can make a lot happen that people might not think is possible.
Yeah, and that we are currently seeing the behind the stage type of view with our other computers that are set up that people were playing on. Yeah. It was that. And this is one of the players on the usual Red DK Priest now probably playing some other kind of setup, Yeah.
Well, I mean, what would actually be really funny is if they say that on stage, and then and then we see that Floba takes off his Brazil gear because he's like, okay, maybe we're gonna play some long game. I need more int or whatever, and then they just play their regular comp and kill him.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's crazy mind games. That would be pretty interesting. We do have a couple more questions here on Twitter. What do you think about new battlegrounds at MOP, Conrad? What's your favorite new battleground coming forward?
I actually don't know too much about the new battlegrounds, but I think there's one that's sort of a Wrathy Basin-like. Okay. But isn't it supposed to be smaller or something like that? And I really like those types of battlegrounds. But my favorite battlegrounds are always Capture the Flag. Yeah. I love Twin Peaks. I love Warsong Gulch. Yep. If I could random battleground into both of those, I would be the happiest little nerd in the entire world. Yeah,
those are my favorites as well, man. I've had many good times just kind of camping that Rejuve hut in Warsong and just killing people and porting back in there, healing up over and over. Yeah. It's pretty fun. Okay, so another question here from Dante Phillip, who was asking us about gear. He's asking us about character class swapping affecting the team play. That's an interesting question. Do you think that the team's synergy is going to be as good when they're swapping to these different setups? It's like, sure, maybe you have really good synergy as a team, but does that carry over into another class?
Well, let's take, for example, Team EG. I think everybody knows that you, Talbadar, and Sea-Doo have this amazing synergy as Shadowplay. You guys have thousands of games played. You guys are amazing at it. And you and Talbadar set up stuff so well. And Talbadar and Sea-Doo have this amazing synergy when it comes to healing, you know, with the grips while casting, stuff like that. And it's overall just phenomenal to watch. But maybe if you're on your Paladin, Bregor X, King of all Dwarves, and you know, Sea-Doo, he plays a warrior as well, then I don't think that Sea-Doo on a warrior and Talbadar on a Shadow Priest will have near the synergy as you do. Not just class-wise, but actual, you know, setting stuff up. Because when I watch you and Talbadar play, it's almost like at the same time that you guys say, "Can you go Shaman? Can you go Shaman?" or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sea-Doo, I don't know if it would be the same.
Yeah. I was just saying, man, every time the crowd comes up on the preview screen, we have a pretty good-looking crowd. There's some handsome nerds out there. So
yeah.
Shout out to all the people watching here, breaking them stereotypes. And another question, what are your thoughts on Thug Cleave? To me, it's one of, if not the strongest setups right now. You know, when properly played, the amount of CC and damage they can put out is pretty incredible. So very, very strong setup. Do you agree?
I completely agree. I think they do extremely strong against Lock, Shaman, anything. It doesn't matter what you put on the other team. You can just tunnel either the Warlock or that other target, and you're almost guaranteed to win because it's so hard for a Shaman to actually cast anything against the Hunter instant CC, the Rogue redirect with blinds, and even Shaman hexes. And something very interesting is that, you know, we watch so many top Shamans fight this team, and people often say, why do you let Earthshield fall? And the answer is because you only have so many globals you can use. First of all, you're not going to run anytime soon, I can guarantee you that. And second of all, you don't want to waste a global on putting Water Shield up when you're trying to top off your teammate that's at 60%.
Yeah, you just can't get enough cast off to really go in. And that was a question there from Carter. I also think that the openers make it so powerful just based on the fact that you know, you can come in here. One of the teams that I have to say did it best, Tosan, Ayume, and Metaphors, you know, playing that comp, beating us down 4-0 in the finals of a tournament, you know, relatively recently. That didn't feel so good, but yeah, and it's like, you know, that was the only tournament team we lost to in the whole tournament. We got smacked down, but their openers were just so strong that, you know, you go for things like, well, one of the things that so many players do, you know, scatter traps get eaten so much. Players are used to it, but one of the ways that they worked around that is they go for a scatter trap. The player eats the trap, but then the Shaman gets hexed at the same time. They're not actually even trying to go for the trap. It's just baiting the player to run in. So, you know, say you're playing the Warlock, you're with like a Shaman, you go run to eat the trap, but they're already hexing the Shaman in the scatter. You cannot interrupt it or ground it because he's scattered. You run into the freezing trap. Both of them are CC. Then you go on the third member. You throw down silencing shot, whatever. There's nothing you can do to help your teammates out. So just the cross CC, the triple CC that they're able to put out is really incredible. That topped with the burst makes it such a powerful setup. And guys, you can, you know, tweet at us. You can hashtag BWCWow. And you can tweet at me at EGAzale. I'm reading my Twitter, and I'm taking some of the questions there from this. So if you guys have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to ask. And, you know, if you're at the event, you're here, you can come up, say hi. You can ask some questions when we're around, when we're in between games, whatever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, everyone's been really friendly to me, man.
Yeah, everyone's been so friendly, and that's really what makes my heart happy is when people are just nice and they come up to you and they're like, hey, or, you know. So thank you guys so much for being so kind to us at this event. And Azale, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
And that is, when you wake up in the morning, do you feel like P. Diddy?
No.
You guys heard it here first. He does not feel like P. Diddy in the morning.
And guys, we are just waiting. The delay is just we're waiting for the players to get ready. As soon as they are ready, we're going to hop right in. I know you probably have seen enough of our faces for the day. You're probably hoping for some more gameplay. We're going to get that going for you as soon as we can. We'll be in the lower bracket. You know, Micro City BE, that was the team I thought would win the tournament. Honestly, you know, Kuna saying they were going to 3-0 that Retike Priest and losing 3-0, that has to be pretty heartbreaking. And you just have to hope that they don't go on tilt or anything like that.
Well, you know, that was being played during our last series,
Yep.
and I'm sure maybe you guys at home noticed, but it was actually so loud in here, they weren't able to set anything up, and also they don't have any interrupt bars whatsoever, and that's so hard when you're fighting a double melee team, when you have to juke a Rebuke, you have to juke a Mind Freeze, maybe you even have to juke like a Shambling Rush or whatever it's called from the Ghoul Pet.
Yeah,
It's just so much stuff that you don't have any timers for it. It all has to be, like I said earlier, based on feel, but Azale loves to... I know Azale actually plays, even when he's at home, he doesn't play with any kind of add-on, so he's really good at counting it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's something that you kind of develop over time. If you're not used to it, then it's going to be a lot tougher, and some more people on camera there, you know, checking out their phone, just hanging out,
yeah,
having a good time.
It's actually really funny to see the reaction to some of these guys when they're in the crowd, when they realize they're on camera. Some of them do the, oh snap, I'm on camera.
Some people are all like waving, all happy. Other people are hiding their heads and stuff. And
that one guy that's moving his
yeah,
head
do a
back
little
and
dance.
forth.
That guy was my favorite so far.
Yeah, that guy was
Maybe
the
we'll
best.
see if anyone can top him. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if it's pretty hard to top him. That guy's having a little laugh, covering his mouth. He looks a little embarrassed.
No one's gonna do anything cool.
No. We got nothing, man.
Yeah, nice
Someone
wave,
did
man.
a wave. That was the most half-hearted wave. He's like, do I want to do this? I don't know. He's just kind of hesitating. And then he decided he was going to go for it, but then he's like, oh, maybe they think it's silly. And then he tried to pull his hands down real quick.
Oh, look
You
at
know,
that wave. That's a wave that's
That
like
was a confident wave. Look at that smile.
that was like a dude. I haven't seen you since high school. What's going on, man? That was one of those waves. So that was a good wave.
That
I
was
like
a good
that.
wave. I'd give that a solid 8.5 out of 10.
I'd give that out of 5. I'd give it a high 5.
You give it a maybe you should go. Maybe that guy can come up and give you a high five later. You could do that.
So if I see him, I'll give him a high 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Remember that, man. Remember that.
Well, there you go. You can come forward and get that prize. And okay, so how strong would you say the KFC comp is in the Season 9 gear? What do you think, Conrad?
I think hunters are one of the most strong classes in Season 9 gear.
Yeah.
I think they do a phenomenal job. And warriors, although on live, everyone kind of knows they aren't the best, but in TR gear, warriors are a fearsome foe. They put out outstanding pressure. They don't have as much control as rogues and stuff like that, but they can sort of do overwhelming things to you. I know when I play a warlock, and it's very frustrating to juke a pummel and get put into a full throwdown, stuff like that, and then charge out of that. And then you have Intim Shouts that's just going to interrupt a heal from, well, I usually play with a shaman, so they're going to have to tremor that. But yeah, I think KFC is a very strong comp. It has insane burst on the TR, pretty good interrupts in CC. And Barbarous, he's a very experienced warrior.
Yeah.
He's playing, I believe his name is Barbiter or something like that.
Yeah,
Here, but
he got like third place at a European regionals before. I want to say it was 2 years ago. They got third place at the finals. They just barely lost out to an LSD. That was back in Season 8
you
or
have
whatever.
some memory to remember that.
Yeah, I think it was actually in Flames team. They almost beat him, and they were running like Pally, Warlock, Warrior, I want to say. So he's pretty experienced. He's been around for a long time. He's one of the strongest warriors out there, and they're doing pretty well. Have you played on the new Tolvir Arena in MLP?
No, I haven't, but I have seen videos. Okay. I believe it was a Hydra video that I saw it on, and everyone knows who Hydra is. But yeah, I thought that arena looked really cool. I like the setup. I like how there's, my biggest issue when the new arenas were added were the random factors. I mean, I guess they're on a timer, but to me they're still a little bit random. The pillar in Dalaran Arena that comes up and goes down, I think that can be game-breaking. Also, the Ring of Valor pillars that move, that can be game-breaking too. But the Tolvir Arena, it looks like it's just stationary the entire time, and it's a good setup. That's what I like, is I like having solid pillars available, and I believe it's 2 pillars and then 1. So
that's pretty cool.
I think it's a pretty cool arena.
Yeah, so it should be interesting to play on that. I'm pretty excited. I haven't really spent a ton of time on this beta, admittedly, but I have gone on there some, and Talbadar and CDU playing on there a lot, so I hear about it a lot from them and other friends and whatnot. We can see the Skens here looking over his shoulder. He's just kind of flying around, setting up and everything. And
actually, the interesting thing about Skens is he's only 17 years old, at least based on what I've been told from people, is that he's 17 years old, and I don't think age is a big factor when it comes to competitive gaming. But it's interesting that a 17-year-old is able to keep up with his studies and stuff like that, and then even make a trip out to Germany. I don't know exactly where he's from. I think he might be from Germany.
I think we actually have that.
Oh, snap. Look at that.
Here we go.
Let's just take a look.
Let's find him. Skens is actually from Belgium.
Interesting. I don't know how far away that is. I know it's actually not too far.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But, okay. Oh, we are about to go live, I think. So we can be hopping on into that as soon as possible. One more quick question here, though, for you, Conrad. What do you think, will WoW get more competitive with MOP PvP? Do you think it's going to be better? Do you think it's going to be worse? What do you think?
Based on, there have been so many online tournaments that pop up. It's really just showing people that there's a lot of interest for WoW as an esport. And because there's more interest in WoW as an esport, that's going to make it more competitive, give way more attention to the PvP scene. And I think Mists of Pandaria is going to be excellent when it comes to PvP. A lot of the talents, it seems like most talent, it's not a PvE choice that you're making, it's a PvP choice.
Yeah.
Do you want a Death Coil, a Howl of Terror or a Shadow Fury, and none of that's really good for PvE, but for PvP, it changes the entire game around.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, I have to say PvP power sounds really cool as well. There's a lot of interesting changes that Blizzard is making. I also like the fact you're going to be able to change your specs in the arena and see the other team you're playing, so you can all specify that for that. But enough of that. We are live. We have this. Okay, so it is going to be 3 DPS, guys. This is going to be some fast games. We're going to be following Carva, the Rep Paladin, out. No one better to follow in this 3 DPS matchup. What will they be able to do against this RLS? It looks like they want to sit back. They're going to try to wait for a sap, but do you think that's the right choice? Because it's going to allow Kuna time to get in here for a sap as well. Sacrifice going down on that DK. The sap is broken because he's dotted up. There's the Freedom thrown onto the DK. He's going to grip in that Shaman. They're going to be going hard onto him. Kuna throws out a cheap shot onto Carva and gets over there, and they're just doing a ton of damage to Flubba already. He has to trinket. He's down to 20k HP. The bomb goes down. They need to kill that Link and just continue doing damage. A second bomb has been thrown down here as well. The DK taking a lot of damage here from this 3 DPS.
Yeah, he's going to have to catch a nice wog there, and he does back up to full HP. Look at how low that Shaman is. He is just going to fall behind that pillar. Wow, just 3 DPS is such a strong setup to run against an RLS. And
I mean, on Ring of Valor, man, too, that is rough. They're going to fight it out, but obviously not going to be able to take a win, and that is not a good feeling. I mean, they forced the Link out immediately, and just, wow, they just kind of got crushed that game, man. I really hope that, Kuna, Skens, and Flubba can just calm down, get it together. Not that they really did anything too wrong, but you have to be able to make sure you're not just freaking out after a loss like that. You don't want to be blaming your teammates. You don't want to be getting pissed off. You want to really just stay calm, stay collected. They just had a tough 3-0 loss against another series. Now they're losing another game in this series, so they have to just make sure they're calm, they're collected, talk about the strategies, make sure you know exactly what your plan is going into the next game, and really just execute. You have to do it well. Because otherwise they could go home, and that would be a huge upset.
Well, it's actually next level thinking coming from these players. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction and say they're going to make it to the grand finals. And that is because on this tournament, this live tournament, like I said earlier, no interrupt bar. So you now have to do rebuke, kick, and mind freeze all at once. And to see the animations for the kick and the mind freeze, the kick's a little more obvious. The character does a little nice karate hua, and then the hua, and then the mind freeze.
Well, they're all. I mean, the thing is, the problem with kick is that because they can do kick at the same time as they can do another ability, sometimes the animation overwrites it, so you don't actually see the kick animation. The Ret one I think is actually more obvious because they do the whole uppercut thing, right? But and Mind Freeze is obvious because it's the blue splash, whatever. But pretty much the only way you can actually accurately know them is by reading your combat log and looking for an update in the combat log. Seeing that kick and rebuke and Mind Freeze have been used.
Yeah. So we're about to hop into this next game here, and I think this RLS is just going to be out of the tournament, man. I don't think there's any way to beat this 3 DPS setup running RLS on this. Yeah, you can see how disappointed they look, man. They know that they're just so frustrated, and I feel for them. I truly do, to know what it's like to just have all the odds against you. But I believe they can do it. It is Skens, Kuna, and Flubba. Skens the closest face, Kuna in the middle, and then Flubba on the far end.
Yeah, I wouldn't count them out just yet, though, guys. They are down only 1 game so far. It is a best of 5 here in the consolation semifinals, I do believe. So, they have to win. They want to stay in this tournament. They want a chance at going to the grand finals in China, where they're going to face off against teams from North America, Taiwan, Korea. So it's obviously, a huge tournament. They want to get there, and for Kuna, Skens, and Flubba to go home now would be such a disappointment, but we have only 10 seconds remaining on that opening gate, so we're going to hop right in here. We see Carva going to be charging in. Can they take a quick second game, or will things be evened up here by the RLS?
We're going to have to see this RLS Kuna. We need him to get a sap on either the DK or the Rogue. If he saps the Ret, he's just going to get sacrificed out. You can see the DK runs in. I believe he has Unholy Frenzy on himself.
Oh, he actually devoured the sacrifice. That Warlock got such a good job on that. And they got to start immediately onto the Shaman. He's taking so much damage. He may have to link immediately, but his teammates are not there. The bomb goes down. He can't link now. He has to wait for that. And he's taking so much damage. The DK is taking a ton of damage as well. The Wog does come out, but actually not that effective. And the Shaman is kiting away quite well, but he's at about half HP. Link now going down. This DK may just die here. The Bob comes in. Wog is going to be up pretty shortly. They do get 1 Wog off there, though, but look at the Rogue down about 20% HP, is absolutely getting dominated. At the same time, Flub is at 20k.
Yeah, he needs to pick himself up. I think he might have juked there. He does land one healing surge. Will this rogue end up falling?
They make it a cross kill, though the rogue is cheated death. He's at about 10% HP. There's a full sap out of that fear. He garrotes off that. What a nice job by Kuna. Can they come back and get this kill? There's a full kidney now on the ret. Looks like Kuna wants to swap over, try to finish off the DK. The Warlock scans there, porting out immediately. Gets a half Howl of Terror on that guy right out of it. The smoke bomb goes down. Can they finish off Contagion? The wall comes in. I'm not sure if this Warlock's going to be able to survive. If they connect back to him, he's going to be in so much trouble. AMS is now up once again. Kuna going to get Hodge there. He's stuck in it. We have so much trouble here for Skens. He's at 35k. He throws out the Shadow Flame, trying desperately to get away, but he's getting gripped back in. The cheap shot comes out from Kuna on both players. He's trying to do anything he can to keep his Warlock alive, who ports out of there at only 10,000 HP.
Yeah, Wog was just used, but is there going to be any answer? It doesn't look like it. And Skens will fall. Maybe Kuna is able to get a kill on this Death Knight, though. Yeah, he's even having
he kicks the flash kill. He might finish him. Can he kill him? He's down about Noise. He gets the kill. Can he come back here? He's only at 30k HP, but he's going to go for a gouge. He's trying to sprint across the map. He has to get out of there, allow himself to get back up with Recoup. He could actually do this. This would be so insane. Kuna's trying to mount up. He's trying to get out of there, but the buff, the debuff up, is still up there with the dots, and we see that there is an expiration now on the Recoup, and he's going to go back here. He's going to go for the res, and that's going to force Kuna to come in, but Kuna does get a re-stealth. He steps in, but not able to time that dot perfectly, but it may fall off here, and that would be huge. This is what he needs. He did get some combo points there in stealth, and now he's going to try to get the sap, but with the stealths here being taken by Carva, Kuna needs to stay away. He needs to get Recoup up with the pre-med and just Recoup back up to full, because Wings is going to be ready, man, and he cannot fight him straight up with Wings, but there he dismounted. He did not get it, and now stealth here is going to end. Kuna is regenning health, and we see the Repel mega step sap. He gets the sap, and Kuna, can he come back? Can he do this?
He needs to just sit in stealth and let Recoup take up. He gets hodged without Recoup.
No.
This is not good for him, man. Wings have been popped. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. He needs to probably cloak and get out of there. Blind was used. Doesn't look like this Paladin has any way out of that, but I'm serious when I say Kuna, just sit in stealth, let Recoup take up.
But the problem is, man, he has the dots. He can't just stay in stealth. And he did get a full Recoup, so this is going to be huge. And he's popping the dance. He knows he's going to come around. He's trying to get the step cheap shot, but not able to get it. Oh, that has got to hurt. The dance going to get wasted. There's a cheap shot coming in, though. How much damage can he get done with this? He needs to get some major damage done. A DR Kidney, he's probably going to gouge off that. No, just going to run LOS. He still has a Recoup up, but does he have more combo points? Yes, the full Recoup once again going up there. We can see that Waylay Snare was up. He's trying to let that debuff fall off so he can get a full sap, but unfortunately, Hemo Dot is up. He throws out the Holy Wrath. Does he pop Kuna? No, he does not get it. And now he's going to be garroted. Kuna once again going for the opener here. He's going to step. He's going to kite away. He's just trying to keep this ret low, but there's the Repent coming in. And Hodge, is it back up? It looks like it only has about 2 seconds remaining.
This is so intense. There is a Wog available. He needs to get some holy power for it, though, but he's already down to 41% HP. He is going to bob himself. Kuna is just going to get out of there, let his Recoup take him up even more. I believe there is one Stealth Seer remaining on the map. The other one...
This is actually starting to look good for Kuna. Kuna is getting his health back. He's doing such a fantastic job. This is incredible.
This is outstanding. He gets another
He gets the re-stealth sap, times it perfectly. The dots fall off. He's going to get back to full HP. And Carva, he does have Hodge, but Kuna should have as well. He should have his Trinket. And I think that Carva may just die right here. There's a Garrote. Kidney Shot going to come in and follow it up. He's in so much trouble. There's the Step Kidney Shot. He's popping dance. He's at 20k. Kuna is going to do it. He's going to kill him. Cloak comes in. Either Sigurd Shield is proc, but I don't think it's going to be enough. 19k HP. He pops a walk. Is doing nothing. Trinket on the Hodge. Kuna has done it. He kills him. He comes back. Incredible. What a match. It is all tied up 1-1.
From a 3v3 to a 2v2 to a 1v1. Outstanding play. I think the man of the hour for sure was Kuna. The way, there was that one moment when we thought it was over, his Warlock died, and he just runs back, does a nice little step kick, or does a nice little focus kick.
Man, had he not kicked that flashlight, he would have lost. He did everything right. Like, everything. That was absolutely insane. Oh my God, man, that's like, I'm having like flashbacks to friggin' Orange Marmalade 1v2ing at ESL.
Yeah.
This was actually epic. That was insane. Such a good job by their whole team, but Kuna in particular literally did everything right. Had he made one mistake in that 1v1, he would have lost.
Yeah, for sure. That was outstanding play by him, dude. I actually can't believe an RLS just beat a 3 DPS on a live, on-location tournament. That really makes my day. I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe some of you guys in the crowd saw this, but Azael's face when that was going on, it was just all smiles. He was so happy.
That was crazy, man. I'm just happy to see such good gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't care who wins. I just want to see good games.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we just saw. We saw some crazy stuff out of Kuna. You know, he's known for his really flashy PvP videos and stuff. And some players, you know, they record for years and years to get these kind of clips. And Kuna is doing that live tournament, man. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's doing it right here, right now. We're here at the WoW European Finals of the Blizzard Invitational. They have invited the 8 best teams from Europe, invited their captains, allowed them to pick their teams, and this is what we've ended up with, 8 teams, 8 of the very best teams competing for this $30,000 prize pool. As we can see, they are in the entrance zone, so we're going to be hopping right in here soon. Who's going to break this deadlock first? Who will take the advantage going on into the next game?
I think it's gonna, I don't know, based on that game, anything can happen at this point, but this DK Ret Rogue team is certainly my favorite just because of the comp, but wow, if we get another game like that, I may have to go home early just because, you know, they're gonna send me home, I'm gonna be too excited, they're gonna be like, you need to leave, you need to get out of here.
Yeah, well, guys, it is all tied up. It's 1-1, best of 5 here. The game is about to start. We're going to hop on in and follow Carva once again. Oh, my God, man, this is just crazy. I cannot believe what is going to happen here. Are we going to see them just be able to get another quick win? Or is the RLS going to change things up? Are they going to be able to stop them? We see that there is, you know, Ancestral Vigor, there's Earth Shield, everything is up, and there is actually a trinket on the sap into another sap. So already a bit of a mess up there. Sacrifice going out onto that DK. He's going to pop his Amos immediately and throw down the smoke bomb. They are connecting onto Flubba here. He's going to take so much damage. He goes into the cheap shot, but this DK is at the same time he's taking a lot of damage. The Rep Alley already having to bubble. Link goes down, but he cannot get the walk off. He's not getting it just yet, and now a big crit walk is going to top off that DK, and Flubba's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He's trying to cut away, but the Rogue at the same time is being swapped to. Smoke bomb goes down there for Kuna. Can they finish off this Rogue? There's a Fear on the right. He cannot get at the walk. MCS out of that. Nice job by Skens. Rogue is going down, and Flubba is still alive. Can he escape? And that Paladin just leaves, not going to want to play it out. Wow.
Okay. I don't know exactly how to put this into words, but that was phenomenal.
I know how to say it. Conrad was wrong. That's how you say it. It's okay, Conrad. I'm used to it, you know. They usually are wrong, you know. It's a thing I've come to accept.
Not even true.
And, you know, as we see here, once again, Conrad being wrong, me being right, you know, Kuna holding it down, man. Their team just some 6 swaps.
Yeah.
A really good job. And honestly, a pretty big mistake by the Ret. He didn't get the sack up before the sap, trinketed a sap into another sap, and that really put them behind. I mean, he was able to get one log off on the DK, top him off, but then that nice swap onto the Rogue. Smoke bomb goes down. They fear the Ret off that smoke bomb ending, get an MCS out of it. So just completely denying the wog. Just fantastic play by both Kuna and Skens coordinating to kill that Rogue. And Flubba, you have to mention him. He did a great job surviving, giving them the time they needed to get that kill.
I mean, that's what Flubba, to me, is known for, is he just does not die. He refuses, even against... It was Team EG minus Azael plus Philo, I believe. In one of those finals, Flubba was at like 3,000 health for at least 5 seconds. And that's when I decided this guy will not die. He does not care. If the game says he should die, he doesn't care at all, man. He's just going to live, and he's going to make sure his team wins.
I mean, he had a pretty cool PvP video, too. You can search out that. I'm not sure if it's Flubba 1 or what, but anyway, I'm sure you can Google Flubba PvP video. You can find it. And he actually has a game surviving against a 3DTS. I think it might have been a different setup, but he's faking all the interrupts. He's living with, like, no HP, 5% HP over and over and stuff. And it's pretty impressive, and it's kind of reminding me of this series here. So just some incredible play out of this RLS, really showing us exactly what they're made of, why we thought they were a favorite for this tournament. And they're saying they're not ready to go home. They may have lost in the winner's bracket, but they want to stay alive. They want to battle their way back through the consolation rounds, get all the way back to the grand finals, and be in China.
Yeah, and you know, if they win this series, they're either going to fight a KFC or a RLS mirror, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. I may be mistaken, but I believe that's what they're gonna fight. And they already beat the KFC.
Yeah.
And RLS mirrors, they should feel pretty confident about that. You know, if you play RLS, you're going to be fighting a whole bunch of other RLSs, obviously, and they're some of the best players. This other RLS, though, is outstanding. They've done an amazing job.
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite the toss-up if it does come down to that.
Yeah, it would be a pretty interesting match, man. The RLS mirrors can be pretty intense. It can go so fast, and you can feel like you're winning the whole game, and then one good swap on your Shaman, he just dies. You can have Link, NS, everything available, but sometimes it's just not enough. You know, you get caught in a Garrote Kidney, into a coil, into an MCS, whatever, and that could be all it takes. So It is a pretty crazy matchup. It's pretty intense, but I would have to favor Kuna's team going into that just based off reputation alone, based off, the play I've seen out of them.
Yeah.
The other RLS, they were surprising a lot of people, doing very, very good so far. And will they be able to continue to do that moving forward in this tournament? We're not sure. And looks like Sken's talking to some admins there, maybe having a little bit of technical problems. We're not sure. We will get an update on that, and as soon as we do, we will give that to you guys. Yeah. But it looks like we are about to go live, so we're probably just going to hop right in and get this going, man. It's match point for RLS, and Conrad, I think you're about to be proven wrong, my friend.
Maybe. It wouldn't be the first time. But it's interesting that those people you saw behind Skens were actually other players playing in the tournament. I believe that was the Warrior for the Ret Warrior Shaman team, and I can't remember who else was on screen.
Gary was back there as well.
Was that him? Yeah. Everyone just wants to see it, man, because they know how intense these games are, and I'm sure that they're watching because they heard that it came down to a 1v1 and then that they even won the next game.
Well, I mean, one of the cool things about these tournaments is getting to see your fellow players playing live. You can try to see kind of what makes a player special, and maybe see if they're doing something better than you are. You can try to kind of adapt that, take part of their gameplay, add it to yours, combine the kind of best aspects of everyone. That's something that I really love to try to do, and I think it's one of the best ways to improve. Just because you think that you're the best doesn't mean that there isn't someone out there that isn't better than you at a specific part, right? So it's like, maybe someone's doing, I don't know, faking better than you or whatever, or using their redirects better than you. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter. The point is that it's really fun to watch the other players play and try to take little things from their play style and incorporate it into yours.
Yeah, I mean, whenever a top player watches another top player, they're learning something, and that's what is important. But I believe this next game is starting pretty soon here. Yeah. So we should be able to hop right into it.
I think we are live, so as soon as we can hop into the game, that would be fantastic. And we will be getting it going. It is a 2-1 lead for this RLS. That's microcity.be. And what is the name of this other team again? It's Eat Nerds Get Birds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, wow. They're going back to Ret DK Priest.
That's actually super surprising to me, because now they have to win 2 as Ret DK Priest versus just winning 1 as or I guess they have to win 2 as a triple DPS. I'm wrong.
Don't worry, Conrad's wrong again. You guys are going to get used to this. It's going to happen a lot.
Okay, Azael actually gave me the biggest death stare when I said as opposed to winning 1. He's like, no. So my apologies, guys. But yeah, both teams are just staying back right now. The Priest is throwing out that Prayer of Healing, and that's the stack. I believe it's called Divine Aegis. Yep. It happens every single time you Prayer of Healing or when you crit a direct heal.
Sken's actually dropping down. Looks like they want to open up on the Priest immediately. Forcing out that sacrifice. They're going to open up on him anyway. Full dots are up. Soul Swap comes in there from Skens. He wants to be careful. He's pulling back. There's actually the swap over onto the DK. Is it? No, actually, they're just going to stick onto the Priest for now. He's taking a lot of damage. And if they can force the Wings out before they get a swap on the Shaman, that would be fantastic. But Kuna is actually taking a lot of damage. They're going to Wings on Kuna, who does Trinket and dances pop. They're going to be going hard on Intagion, it looks like, who is at 50%.
Yeah, and you saw our Ret Paladin already use his Trinket. His bubble is available, as well as Blessing of Protection. There's a full Hodge onto Flubba, though. He will still be hitting on Kuna. Kuna, I believe his wall is about to fade in about 3 seconds or so. It is 5 stacked at this point. But full dodge onto the Ret. His Sacred Shield proc.
And Wings is gone, man. Wings is gone, and Sacred Shield is falling now as well. And this Ret is going to be forced defensive. He's going to have to pull back. And really, what did they get out of the RLS? I mean, maybe the Rogue's Trinket, but that is not much. That is not much at all, because the Rogue is such a tough target to kill. We are going to see this Ret Paladin taking quite a bit of damage. He's at about 60% HP, and he is going to be going over onto the Warlock, who's going to be able to port up rather very quickly here. Smoke Bomb does go down. It's actually going to be bubbled, as that Ret was taking a ton of damage. We see Sacred Shield has procced again. Rebuke did come in on that Warlock, landing full.
Yeah, you can see he's still just trying to connect to that Warlock. Port is available, but he's not taking near enough damage to warrant it. He does port up now at this point, but they're going to swap over onto Kuna, playing on Artie. That is his real name, but he's taking a lot of damage, and I don't actually like that grip. I mean, both bombs have been used, right? He actually just pulled him away from the Rogue, and you can see that the Ret Paladin says no, and he just gets right back on him.
It did allow him to fall, that UA to fall, though. Gave him a little time to top him back up, but I mean, the Ret going to be in a lot of trouble here. He's fully dotted up. He does catch the PS as he goes into that kidney at 40% HP. If this Priest gets CC'd, the Ret may just go down. We see that Divine Hymn is coming in, but he actually pulled the pet to the Priest, and there was a CS that came out. I think it was fake. Yes, it was fake by that Priest, and that may be the only thing that keeps this Ret Paladin alive, as the pet is finished off there. We're going to have to see a Soul Burn coming out from that Warlock. It does go out right now, and actually Kuna down to about 20k HP.
Yeah, he does have his shield wall popped, though, or combat readiness, rather, stacked to full. But full dots on this Red Paladin. I don't think he has anything remaining out of this. He's going to have to throw a Wog onto himself for sure. He's back up to 60k health right now. His wings are available, so now we might see some pressure going out onto this RLS, and that's what they need to do. Maybe swap over and hit Flubba, the Shaman, on that
There's a
team.
step kick on that flash heal from the Ret. The Ret is actually down 30% HP. He gets Sheep Shot, 10% HP, 30%. He's just dipping. He's going to have to pop his wings defensively. Can they get anything done with it? Because a Zealotry wings entering were all popped there. They need to get some offensive pressure, but can it be purged? Only 10 seconds remaining on that wings. He's down to 30 HP. Once again, he has no holy power to Wog himself. I think he's just going to go down. He falls, and Kuna's RLS moving on. 3-1 is going to be the final score. And what a series that was.
Yeah, you can see, oh, he's a little unhappy at this point, you know. He came so far, and they actually did an outstanding job to make it this far in such a stacked tournament. Just so many skilled players were here, but that does mean that our RLS of Kuna, Flubba, and Skens will be making it into the consolation final.
Yep, they will, man. And that means they're only one match away from qualifying for that grand finals, for the grand finals in China.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. That means that they either have to beat a KFC or an RLS to make it to China.
And you know, if you are correct and they are in the consolation grand final, you're sure about that?
No, am I sure about anything?
No, you're not. But if they are guaranteed top 3, which means they're going to be going home with a pretty nice prize regardless. So, you know, already a successful tournament for them. That Ret DK Priest will be eliminated. Tried out the 3 DPS. You know, worked the first game, not so much the next 2. I was surprised to see them swap back though when they were so, you know, they were so hesitant to play it in the first place. And they almost won those other games. I mean, it came down to a 1v1, right? It's like, you know, it's not like they were one-sided games at all. So I would have thought they'd stick with the 3 DPS, but they decided to go back, and it is going to kind of not work out for them. So 3-1 loss. They're out of the tournament, but they showed some good games. They showed their stuff, and you know, they should be proud of the results they posted.
Well, you know, it might just be like, you know, they're losing as 3 DPS, so they just decide, well, let's end this tournament on a game that we can be proud of ourselves for.
Yep,
because let's face it,
that.
I cannot respect a 3 DPS. I'm just kidding, guys. No, I'm not. But if you guys want to tweet at us, we do have some time to answer some tweets. So you can go ahead. You can follow me. I am at ConradNAO. You can follow Azael here. He is at EGAzael. Yep. But make sure if you want to tweet at us and ask us a question, ask him right now.
Yeah, and tweet it, hashtag BWCWow. So you can hashtag that if you want to get involved in the conversation. We're checking that out as well, guys. We appreciate all the tweets, all the questions that you have sent to us. But we are not going to delay it any further. We have the man everyone has been waiting for. It's Red Eye. He's over on the main stage. Take it away, Paul.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Gamescom 2012, the CM Storm ESL Arena, of course. And ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the winners, Microsity. Well done, indeed. Okay, so they're down to the last 4 now. We only have 4 teams remaining in this World of Warcraft tournament, which means 3 of those will not be the winners. 2 of them will go off to the global finals, and we'll have the top 3, of course, in the top 3 prize money positions. 12,000 for first place, 7.5 for second. So a lot still to play for, but down to 4 teams. Before we get into the upper bracket final, and we talk about that a little bit more, first of all, let's catch up with the winners of our lower bracket semi-final.
I'm here with Kuna, the man of the hour. What an incredible comeback in that one game. I mean, what made you think you guys could come back and win that 2v3 situation?
Yeah, we played a lot against triple DPS on live and at home, and we know that we should never leave or never stop playing, even at the very end when everybody dies in your team and you're in 1v3 situation. It's always possible. You have to keep trying, and it's paid off today.
Man, I have to say, it's one of the most memorable tournament moments for me, and I've gone to tournaments for like 5 years, and that was absolutely incredible. I was so excited when it happened. I have to say, Conrad was saying you guys were going to lose 3-0 and that you were going home, and I was like, Conrad, you know what? It's not going to happen. They're going to win. They can do it, I believe. And you proved me right, so thanks for that. I mean, Conrad's used to being wrong all the time. That's normal, but we all know that, right?
Yeah, it's exactly.
See? Yep, okay, so man, what is it, when they swap back to DK Rape Priests, do you think that you guys knew you were going to win? Were you confident about that, or were you still worried?
Honestly, I'm still worried. We will try something different against them to see how it goes. And I don't know, I think it's a lot on their part here, because it's very hard to play as good for us as at home, but yeah, we'll try our best.
Well, you guys tried your best, and it came out on top, so not much more to be said about that. You're going to be moving on to the consolation finals, so you're only one match away, if I am correct, from making it to China, right? From making it to those grand finals. You guys think you can do it?
Yeah, I think we will make it.
All right, man. Well, I hope so. You showed some amazing games. A big round of applause here for Kuna, coming back in one of the most amazing WoW matches I've ever seen. We're going to be going to back to Red Eye here, and then I'm going to be heading back over to the commentary booth for some more WoW action. Guys, stick with us.
Thank you very much, Ezael. Again, wonderful with the interviews once more. Microcity, as he said, already through to the lower bracket. They'll play Imminent Tomb in that lower bracket game. The winner will go into the consolation final. Of course, we've got the upper bracket final, Just Be Honest versus Yaz Presents. That's coming up next at 4 2:02. Don't ask me why it's precise, but it is. So make sure you're back here for 4 2:02 local time. I make that 17 minutes. Don't go far.